Okay, so your new book is out. How exciting, called The Woman Who Would Be King. I actually love this title. Was it hard to come up with the title for your book? I felt like when I was
Well,
doing my cookbook, I was like, I couldn't land on a title. It took me ages, but this is perfect. I love it.
the title of the book, I had two others picked out, and I was going back and forth, what my title should be, and it was sticking, and I was happy with it, but I wasn't, that feeling where it just doesn't,
Yeah. Yeah.
just captures you. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm a type of person where I've always like I wanted to be uh, different, but with a statement,
Yeah.
and being a paver, as I call them, paving the way in so many
Yeah.
things that I feel that if a woman can be a man, why can't we be a king?
Yes. No,
Right?
it's
And
great.
so in so many levels. So Becky Lynch, my dear, you are the man, but I am king. And so the title came from a great conversation from a great mutual friend and one of my best friends, Paul Heyman.
Holly.
And I know Paul has been a dear friend way back in AWA days,
Oh,
probably before
yes.
you were even born.
Maybe
No.
like closer to, not quite. I mean, I was around. I existed,
Oh,
but
I don't know. You're still a young little one. And so yeah, so we're having this conversation. He's like, Deuce, what's your titles? And I'm like, I told
Deuce.
him the
What a
titles.
great nickname. Deuce. I love that.
Oh, that's since day one. Oh my
Yeah,
God. So
I love
anyway,
that. I've never heard
eh,
anyone call you that. I like that.
well, deuce or dropping the deuce, either or
Yeah.
depends. So so there's that. So in our conversation, he's like, okay, so what do you have for your title? And so before I could even really spit anything out, he's like, the woman who would be king. And I'm like, oh my God. And it came from Paul.
Leave it to Paul to title your book, of course, right? The guy is
Yes.
just a master in so many different avenues. The fact that he named your book is great. He also wrote the prologue for your book as well. Is that right?
He did. He wrote the forward to the book, and I couldn't have been more honored. We've shared so many things in our life together, been through this wonderful career called pro
Mhm.
wrestling,
Yep.
and even behind the scenes and, in personal life and being friends and supporting each other. So for him to say yes to do that, it meant the world. I wasn't even, I just thought I was throwing it around, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's best not to expect things in this world or, buy people or anything because you won't be let down otherwise, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so I just like, hey, it's a great title. Would you want to write the foreword? Just, like throwing it out there. And he's like, I would have been really disappointed if you didn't ask. So yeah, it was a great fit.
What
Great fit.
is your relationship with Paul like? I mean, you just said you guys go back to, the AWA days. You guys have known each other for so long, worked in many different promotions together. What is the status of your guys' relationship? How often do you guys keep in touch and kind of lean on each other throughout your life?
Well, I mean, there's texts, there are phone calls, there's pictures, and when we can see each other in town, we're definitely getting together for WrestleMania. And so there's stuff like that, bouncing things off of each other,
Mhm.
life. You're pretty special when he gives you that call and you're invited to his daughter's bat mitzvah. So
Oh, that's a big one. That's a
that
really
is
big one.
huge,
Yeah.
huge, huge, huge.
Yeah. Okay, so your book. Why was now the time to write the book and put this together? You've lived such an incredible life and have done so many things. How did you kind of figure out how you wanted to block the book out and tell these stories? What was going to make the cut? What was going to be left on the editing room floor? There's so much to you.
There's Okay, so the book is written like I am. So I have like ADHAD USA. I just threw that in there. MAD USA. Okay. So,
Yes.
and it goes from the first chapter. So it goes from like A to L and then B to Z and then back. So it keeps you very interested. And every chapter that you read, you're like, oh, yeah, I just read that. And it brings you back to this new story. Oh, yeah, it brings me back to chapter A or, so it's all over the place, but it's an easy read and it keeps you engaged, right?
Mhm.
And so I there was a lot of, let's make these chapters uh available to, meaning when the book is finished, I'm able to write another book about each chapter because I could not cram in
Yeah.
everything. The book is written about my life. It's not about anybody else. It's not about 5 seconds of pleasure by throwing anybody under the bus or anything like that. I don't think
Yeah.
that is, I mean, why do that, right? That's
Yeah.
not even, I just don't get it. If I did something like that, I would need to hire a Twitter army and, to protect
Yeah. Yeah.
myself,
Sure.
protect myself, and then you'd
Yeah.
be in deep crap.
Yeah.
But the book was designed, and working with Greg Oliver out of ECW Press on the book, and I'm all about, fact checking this whole project because after 40 years of entertainment, Nay, I just how do you remember exact
Yeah.
dates and times and whatnot? And so, thank God Greg Oliver is a fact checker. Like, oh my God. So, he was calling people, checking up history, making sure all these events happened, or this has happened here, or this was right. So, because what was a big concern of mine for this book is that people are going to go through it and they're going to be like, that didn't happen. Oh, yeah,
Right.
she's lying. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, you
Yeah.
know what? Let's just take care of that before any of that crap
Mhm.
happens. So,
Mhm.
there might be a misspelled word that we didn't catch, or the editor that, we're only human. I don't know. As far as I saw, I didn't see any, but, um,
I'll tell
the
you,
book,
nothing's more annoying though than having the book go to press and you're like, "Fuck, this word spelt wrong."
you're
That
right.
happened to me. I was like,
You're,
I did that with my book when I like put, I think like I omitted part of a recipe or some kind of ingredient. And I was like, I mean, how do you hang your hat on that? It's very upsetting. It's out there now. It's
no,
done.
no, I understand. And then when they say, okay, this is your second to last chance to make any changes, but when you do, it only can be one or two words, and you only have so much to put in or
Yeah.
take out because it'll screw
Yeah.
up the whole page. And then I'm like, okay, you needed to take this out, and no, this needed to go in, and you're only praying to God, like, I hope it all got in or this was taken out. But I did, Nate, to tell you the truth, I changed some names,
Okay.
and only because people change in life.
Sure.
And when I say change, sometimes it's for the better, sometimes it's not, but who am I to here to judge, right? So, but also they also have a new life. They may have siblings, or they may have other things going in their life which is completely innocent to
Yeah.
their past.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I can't help if they were a dick in the past either. But anyway, the point is it
Sure.
ain't about
Yeah.
a story. The book isn't about, pointing out people's, bad habits or how bad they were. It was a life. It was a life experience. It was my story and the things I had to do and go through and adversities and endure, and the things that I chose to overcome. Not like you had to go through the process to go through and hit failure, and then to overcome failure. And to me, failure is not really a destination, it's only a blueprint.